Now, good morning once again. Welcome to the chemistry class
Good morning,
revision for
sir.
semester one. Today is day 4 of my revision classes with you all. And in the previous class, I done revision for acid, bases, and salts with some question answers. Okay. Today, I'll be giving you some important questions from the chapter Analytical Chemistry. Okay, so we begin with analytical chemistry. Some question answers, important question answers. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So try to pay attention. Number A. Number A. A chloride which forms a precipitate that is soluble in excess of ammonium hydroxide. Please mute yourselves. Please mute yourselves.
Sir, it's not there. You have to manually mute it.
You can't mute yourselves.
He left his device and went somewhere.
Oh, what class did you have before this?
Yes, sir, you went somewhere.
What class did you have before this?
Dawson went.
Huh?
English language.
English language.
English language.
English language.
Okay, wait. All of you are muted. Yeah, all of you are muted.
No, sir.
Who takes English language?
No,
Tell me.
sir. There's one fellow named Darshan.
Huh?
Ma'am Preeti.
Yes, sir, Dawson.
No. What class did you have in the third period?
English language. Ma'am
Who?
Preeti takes
Ma'am
it.
Preeti. Okay. Okay. Now mute yourselves, all of you, those who are present, for a few seconds. Let me just observe. Okay, the noise is still coming. Okay.
So it is Darshan Pradhan.
Darshan Pradhan is there.
So
Darshan
he's not
Pradhan.
there. He's just
Darshan
Pradhan is not
yeah.
muted.
Yeah, he's not.
He's making the noise.
Okay. Now that's better now. Now it's okay. Is it okay now? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. It's all right.
A chloride which forms a precipitate that is soluble in excess of ammonium hydroxide. So you have to choose the correct answer from the given options. Option one is calcium chloride.
Excuse me. Hello.
Hello.
Sir, it's me,
Yes.
Manor.
Yeah, Manor, yeah, tell me.
Sir, do you want to continue with this class?
Yeah, I have got a class with them. Any problem, sir?
Now. Okay, no problem. Sir.
It's my class, no?
Thank you.
Class 10.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Hello. Okay, number
Hi,
two.
sir.
Yes, sir.
The second option is ferrous chloride. The second option is ferrous chloride. The third option is ferric chloride. The fourth option is copper chloride.
Copper chloride.
So,
Copper
Good morning,
chloride.
sir.
so
Option
which
one.
chloride forms a precipitate which is
option
soluble in excess of ammonium hydroxide? What is the answer? Which one? Which is the option?
Copper chloride.
It has to be copper
Option
chloride.
four.
It has to be copper chloride. It is not calcium chloride. It is not ferrous chloride. It is not ferric chloride also. It is copper chloride. Now, after it is soluble in excess of ammonium hydroxide, what is the color of the solution? Tell me. When you add excess of ammonium
Inky
hydroxide.
blue.
Yes, it
Pale
is
blue.
It is an
Deep inky blue.
inky blue solution.
Pale blue.
It is a not pale blue. It is an inky blue solution. It is an inky blue or deep blue solution.
Right.
It is an inky blue solution
Yes,
or
sir.
a deep blue solution. That was number A. Number B. Number B. I'm writing the question on the screen. Please follow. Hydroxide of this metal. Hydroxide of this metal is soluble. Is soluble in sodium hydroxide solution. Hydroxide of this metal is soluble in sodium hydroxide solution. The first metal is magnesium. The second metal is lead. The third metal option given is silver. The fourth metal option given is copper. So, which metal hydroxide is soluble in sodium hydroxide solution?
Lead.
It is lead.
Lead.
It is lead. This is the correct answer. It cannot be magnesium hydroxide. It cannot be silver hydroxide. It cannot be copper hydroxide. Okay. Done with that? Number B is done. Okay. Now let us move to the next one. Number C. Number C. The salt. The salt which in solution. The salt which in solution gives a pale green precipitate. Pale green precipitate with sodium hydroxide solution, and a white precipitate with barium chloride solution. Okay, I'm writing the options after this. I'm reading the question once more. The salt which in solution state gives a pale green precipitate with sodium hydroxide. Okay, and then the same salt, it gives a white precipitate with barium chloride solution. So pale green. So the options given in the question are, first option is iron 3 sulfate. The first option is iron 3 sulfate. The second option is iron 2 sulfate. The third option is iron 2 chloride. The fourth option is iron 3 chloride. Okay, so what should be the answer?
Option 2, sir.
Option 2. Yes, correct. Option 2. Iron 2 sulfate, it gives a pale green precipitate with sodium hydroxide, and again to a separate iron 2 sulfate solution, if we add barium chloride, it forms a white precipitate of barium sulfate. Correct. Okay, so the answer is option 2, that is iron 2 sulfate. C is correct. Good. Next question is a different type of question. Okay, that is I'll name it as D. I'll name it as question number D. Now this is not a multiple choice question. Here you have to identify. Okay, so I'm writing down the question. Identify the substance, identify the substance underlined in the following case. So the case is below. cation, cation. What is the charge carried by a cation? Tell me. Cation that does not form a precipitate. That does not form a precipitate with ammonium hydroxide, but forms one with sodium hydroxide. This is a very good question. The cation, identify the cation that does not form a precipitate with ammonium hydroxide, but it forms a precipitate with what you call sodium hydroxide. I can give you the options. I can give you the
Ca2
options.
plus.
Yeah, answer. The first option, it can be calcium. This is the answer. The second option, I can give you magnesium. Okay. The third option, I can give you say lead Pb plus 2. The fourth option, I can give you what you call Cu plus 2. Okay, so the answer is calcium. Calcium ion, it does not form a precipitate with ammonium hydroxide solution, but it forms a precipitate with sodium hydroxide solution. Okay, is that clear, my dear boys? Is that clear? Okay, good. Now let us move to the next
Yes, sir.
question. Let us move to the next question. Number E. Number E. Fill in the blanks. Okay. Fill in the blanks. Now here, the fill in the blank goes like this. First, only there is a blank space. And option I am giving you: AgCl oblique PbCl2 oblique MgCl2 oblique. Okay, then CaCl2 oblique. So you have to choose the answer from these options and put a comma over here. A white precipitate. This is a white precipitate. White PPT is soluble in excess of ammonium hydroxide. That is the question. Among these four, which one is a white precipitate? And that white precipitate is soluble in excess ammonium hydroxide. Okay, try to get the answer, identify the answer. Yeah, which one? Which one is a white precipitate? Curdy white precipitate, actually. It is curdy white precipitate. It is soluble in excess of ammonium hydroxide. Get the answer. Which one?
Calcium chloride.
It cannot be calcium chloride. It cannot be calcium chloride. No.
Magnesium.
It cannot be magnesium also. Yes.
AgCl.
AgCl is correct answer.
Silver chloride.
It cannot be PbCl. It is AgCl, silver chloride. Silver chloride is a white precipitate soluble in excess of ammonium hydroxide. PbCl2 is also a white precipitate, but it is not soluble in excess of ammonium hydroxide. This PbCl2 is soluble in,
Sodium hydroxide.
in hot water. It is soluble in hot water. Remember that. Okay. Lead chloride is soluble in hot water. It may be soluble in sodium hydroxide as well, excess. Okay. That is number E. Okay. It is soluble in hot water and as well as sodium hydroxide, excess of sodium hydroxide. That is number E. Shall we move to the next question? Shall
Yes,
we?
sir.
Okay, good. So I'm writing the next question on your screen over there. Number F. Number F. Let us see.
Sir,
Okay. Yes.
sir, can you move to D once?
E or D? D.
Sir,
D.
D.
Huh? D. This is D only.
Sir,
Question
thank you,
D.
sir.
Okay. Okay. Answer is calcium. Okay. Not magnesium, not lead, not copper. Okay. So now we are in F.
Yes, sir.
F. F. Identify the cations in each of the following case. So the question is here. Identify the cations in each of the following cases. Okay, cases. I'm writing cases. So F subpart A, the first one. The first case is like this. NaOH solution. NaOH solution when added when added to the solution A, sodium hydroxide solution when added to the solution A gives a reddish brown precipitate. Reddish brown precipitate. Reddish brown precipitate. So tell the answer first, then I'll go to B and C. Which cation is present in solution A?
Iron 3 sulfate.
No, only the yeah,
Fe3.
only it is
Iron 3.
iron. Ferric. Fe plus 3. Fe plus 3 is called, it is called iron 3. It is called what? Iron 3. Okay. It is called iron 3. Also, it is called ferric. 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 Ferric ion. Ferric ion. Okay, that is the answer. Correct answer. So there are different forms of writing the answer. Okay, but stick to this one or iron 3. Okay. Actually, they are asking for the cation, so it is better you write iron 3 ion or mention this one Fe plus 3. You will get the marks for that. Number B. Number B. Ready? Are you ready for number B? Ammonium hydroxide solution. Ammonium hydroxide solution when added to the solution B. To the solution B. This is solution B. Gives white precipitate. Gives white PPT which does not dissolve. Which does not dissolve in excess of NH4OH. So, which is the cation present in this one, solution B? When we add ammonium hydroxide,
Magnesium.
no, magnesium is no, not magnesium. It can't be magnesium.
Zinc.
Lead.
It has to
Lead.
be lead ions. It has to be
Zinc.
lead. It has to be lead ions. Lead ions. Pb plus 2. Pb plus 2. It is lead ions. Pb plus 2. Okay. So here it is actually a lead one. Lead is, it is giving, it will give actually you can talk about white precipitate. It's a dirty white precipitate. Okay. And this precipitate which will not dissolve in excess of ammonium hydroxide. Okay. So it has to be lead. Okay. This is a distinctive test between lead and zinc over here. Okay. But if you talk about zinc will dissolve. Okay. Now that was FB. FB. Now we are coming to FC. F. Question number F. Subpart C. Okay. Now the question goes like this. NaOH solution. NaOH solution. Sodium hydroxide solution. When added to solution C. when added to solution C, gives a white precipitate, which is insoluble, insoluble in excess of sodium hydroxide. So which is the cation present in this case in F? Identify the cation. When sodium hydroxide solution is added to the solution C, it produces a white precipitate,
CO.
which is insoluble in excess of sodium hydroxide. Yes, it is. Answer is
Magnesium.
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 Magnesium ions. Okay, that is magnesium ions. Am I clear? My dear boys? Huh? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let us go to G. Okay, here I'll give you a table. Aqueous solution. This you copy this question in your exercise copy. First column is aqueous solution. Second column is color of PPT. When ammonium hydroxide is added dropwise. Okay, this is the second column, and the third column is uh, nature of precipitate. Nature of precipitate when ammonium hydroxide is in excess, when you have plenty of ammonium hydroxide. Okay, so this table you copy, and this is your classwork. Just now you have to do. I'm writing the formula of the aqueous salt solution. Okay, zinc sulfate, first one. Okay, you'll have to fill up over here. And second one is lead nitrate, PbNO3 twice. Third one is ferrous sulfate, FeSO4. Fourth one is ferric chloride, FeCl3. And fifth one is copper sulfate, CuSO4. Okay, so this one is your classwork. Okay, I'm waiting for another 5 minutes for you all to complete, and then I'll ask you by calling out your names. Okay.
G.
I hope all of you are doing it. Yes. So I think all of you have finished the first one, zinc sulfate. When you add ammonium hydroxide, what do you get upon adding ammonium hydroxide dropwise to zinc sulfate salt solution? Tell me, what is the color of the precipitate? What is the color? Huh?
A gaudy white precipitate.
No. Zinc sulfate, not curdy. It is a gelatinous.
Hey,
It is a
it's gelatinous.
gelatinous white. So to this gelatinous white, if you add excess of ammonium hydroxide, it dissolves. It is soluble. It is soluble. So this is how you are supposed to answer this question. Are you getting it? Are you getting it? So complete the rest.
Yes, sir.
Complete the rest. Okay, don't write wrong answers. Okay. And your homework will be the other column. Okay, where instead of ammonium hydroxide, here in the second column you add sodium hydroxide dropwise, and over here sodium hydroxide in excess. That will be your homework part. Okay, the same salt solution you put over here. Okay, that will be your homework. And just now in the class, so complete this remaining. Lead nitrate. What about lead nitrate now? What is the color of the precipitate?
Chalky white.
Huh? Chalky white.
Body white
Chalky
precipitate.
Pearly white. Yes. You can talk about
Chalky
pearly white.
white.
Yeah. Pearly white or chalky white.
Body white.
Pearly, or you can say chalky also. Both are correct. White. And then is it soluble or insoluble in excess?
Soluble.
Huh?
Soluble.
It is
Insoluble.
insoluble in
Insoluble.
it's because ammonium
Soluble.
hydroxide. No? Ammonium hydroxide. It is insoluble in excess ammonium hydroxide. Then the third one is ferrous sulfate. With ferrous sulfate, it will give you
Dirty green.
dirty green.
Dirty
Correct.
Dirty green.
Dirty green.
Dirty green. Okay. Dirty green. And then that dirty green is insoluble again.
Soluble.
It is insoluble. Insoluble. Ferric chloride, it is reddish brown. Ferric chloride is
Reddish brown.
reddish brown.
Reddish brown.
And this ferric chloride is reddish brown. It is insoluble.
Insoluble.
It is insoluble. The last one is copper sulfate. If you add dropwise ammonium hydroxide, it will give light blue precipitate. Light blue
Pale
precipitate.
blue.
Light blue or pale blue. You can write
Pale.
anything light blue, pale blue precipitate. If you add excess of ammonium hydroxide, it dissolves to give an soluble. It produces a soluble inky blue solution. Okay, so this is how you're supposed to fill up the table. Now here I am giving this in order to save you from the multiple choice questions over here, so that with this chart you can prepare, you can solve, you can attempt all the multiple choice questions asked from this part of the chapter. Like they can ask you, when ammonium hydroxide is added dropwise to zinc sulfate, what is the color of the precipitate? They can give you four options. They can give you curdy white, chalky white, gelatinous white, dirty green. So choose the correct answer. Are you getting it? So they'll ask you another question. What do you observe? What do you observe when ammonium hydroxide is added in excess to ferric chloride solution? So they'll give you the options: light blue, dirty green, chalky white, reddish brown. So choose the correct answer, and for that it is reddish brown. So that is how they'll ask you the question in case of multiple choice question. Okay, so with this, I'm giving you the homework for today. That is same salt solutions. Now instead of ammonium hydroxide, we add sodium hydroxide solution dropwise and sodium hydroxide solution in excess. Okay, so with this, there are no more other important questions from this part of the chapter. So with this, I would like to end my class here only. So in the next class, that is tomorrow, I'll give you the important questions from the next chapter. What is the next chapter?
Mole concept.
Yes,
Mole
it is the mole
concept and
concept
stoichiometry.
and stoichiometry.
Stoichiometry.
And stoichiometry. Can you see the screen? 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 Can you see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, so with
Yes,
this,
sir.
I would like to stop my class here only. Now you may get ready for the next class. You have around 8 to 9 minutes left. Okay. Thank you so much.
Bye,
Thank you so
sir.
much. Have a
Thank you,
nice day.
sir.
Thank
Have
you,
a nice
sir.
day.